You know the feeling. It's midnight, you're wide awake, and you map out an ambitious new morning routine. You set your alarm for 5 a.m., completely convinced that tomorrow is the day you finally start executing on your goals. But then 5 a.m. arrives. The alarm blares, the room is cold, and that intense late-night drive has completely vanished. So you hit snooze. When this happens, we usually blame ourselves. We assume we simply lack the willpower, or we tell ourselves that elite performers and successful CEOs must possess some infinite reserve of natural drive that we just don't have. But that 5 a.m. failure is not a character flaw. It happens because we severely misunderstand what motivation actually is on a biological level. Think about the physical sensation of inspiration, the racing heart, the sudden tunnel vision. These aren't indicators of a permanent shift. They are the symptoms of a temporary adrenaline rush. It is a hot emotional state that our bodies simply aren't designed to maintain for more than a few minutes. This graph illustrates exactly why that hot energy is so fragile. Your motivation capacity constantly fluctuates based on highly unpredictable external variables. Did you get a poor night's sleep? Did you have an argument yesterday? Your capacity immediately crashes. Stretch that reliance out over a full year-long timeline, and the mathematical flaw becomes obvious. You are trying to fuel a permanent, long-term goal using a resource that randomly spikes and flatlines day to day. If the world's most elite performers, founders, and champions relied strictly on this unstable, hot energy to get out of bed, they would fail at the exact same rate as the rest of us. To understand how top-tier performers actually operate, we must look at an entirely different system: cold discipline. Consider the intense environment of a military paratrooper executing a combat jump. You're standing at the aircraft door, staring into the open sky. In that highly specific moment, you absolutely need that adrenaline rush. That hot motivation is required to override survival instincts and take the leap. But once you are in freefall, the situation changes entirely. Surviving the descent requires complex split-second coordination between your mind and your muscles, and that execution relies entirely on standard operating procedures, or SOPs. Those SOPs do not ask the soldier whether they feel brave or well-rested or inspired. They strictly require adherence to mechanical, heavily drilled physical protocols. This paratrooper model demonstrates that high-stakes execution becomes predictable only when physical action is decoupled from the fluctuating noise of human emotion. This decoupling is why military academies across the world operate the way they do. They are carefully designed factories built to artificially manufacture cold discipline from day one. Enter an academy, and you are immediately placed into a rigidly constructed environment. Waking up, physical training, attending classes, and going to sleep are all forced to happen at the exact same time, every single day. This flowchart models the system. It bypasses human emotion entirely, removing the choice to participate. It scales down to smallest details. Micro-actions like uniform folding or shaving are standardized, funneling back to reinforce this protocol. Lasting discipline is rarely an internal feeling you manage to summon. It is a rigid external environment you construct around yourself. But you don't need to enlist to build this architecture. You can translate this exact blueprint right into your daily life. Step 1 is fixing the routine. You must lock in non-negotiable times for eating, sleeping, and working to build the solid boundaries of your day. Step 2 is eliminating distractions through physical removal. When it's time to do professional work, put your phone on flight mode, or better yet, keep it completely out of your workspace. This relies on the strict psychological rule of not in sight, out of mind. If the distraction isn't physically present, your brain doesn't even have the option to deviate from the routine. Implementing these strict boundaries creates your own personal military academy. It effectively insulates your professional goals from the daily chaos of your mood swings. Step 3 is empowering your automated muscle memory to take over the exact moment you wake up. This introduces the absolute rule of your discipline engine. Once your feet hit the floor, the sequence cannot be broken for any reason. Breaking the sequence even once reintroduces that dangerous, volatile variable of motivation back into the equation, and as we know, relying on that leads to immediate failure. Elite success is never about waiting until you feel inspired or ready. It is the absolute cold commitment to doing the work every single day, regardless of how you feel.